Hey, Kopy, are you having fun?
Yeah,
It's
here
the
hold on. Let me pull the weight just for a second for you. So here's what the All Jesters Mainstage cast is.
Thanks.
In all sports, there's always some sort of All American, All Pro, All NFL. It is a list that's compiled from every sport saying who is the best of the best, which is definitely different from All Stars. All Stars is a voted, long, drawn out process to where the league creates these All Pro lists for who is the best representative. Now, here in this league, in our league, that is the same idea. We create two lists, a first team and a second team. Yesterday, we released our second team and video, and today we're going to talk about our first team. So if we got a bunch of money and they said, hey, come to the Las Vegas Strip, come to Hollywood, come to wherever, put on a show and entertain us. These are the students that we say as a league that we would take to that show to perform, to put on the best show we think humanly possible. We revealed the second team yesterday, and here is our first team. Did I
Thank
do
you,
good?
Kopy. Yeah, but
Okay.
you did great. I'm so grateful for the assistance because kids, time in the morning is a thing. So we've got 12 names for you to break down, and this is our first team main stage cast for High School Jesters 13th season. I am praying for a familiar face or two on this list, and good. Thank you. My prayers answered. As I look through this, we have so many great memories and great minds to break down, and we're going to jump straight into it because I don't have the cerebral patience for it. Round number one from Arborview High School, it's got to be former league MVP candidate Audrey Andrews. Yes. This student we've known to be equal parts sugar and spice, tons of amazing, brutal, real creativity. Arborview's got a lot of reality in their humor. I'm just going to put it that way. Very adult humor in a not like a crass way, but in a hey, sometimes when you take too much medicine, it makes you go to the bathroom kind of way. Kopy, talk to me about Audrey Andrews.
I Everything Audrey does is just so natural and I mean almost poetic. It's just it has strength, it has beauty, it has perfection. Um, Audrey is the only reigning student who got nominated for MVP last year that's still in the league now that didn't graduate.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing Audrey can't do, and it's hard to talk about Audrey without talking about Allison. Hence why they're both holding forks in their pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to form that strong of a bond and have two people that can just compete at that level, they're insane. But if we're talking about Audrey alone, um, Audrey is just she's kind of the definition of what this main stage cast is about. Just someone who can get up there and play
Mm-hmm.
and deliver at the highest level, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what Audrey can do.
Mm-hmm. I shared a brief scene with Audrey when they were at the Dulcel showcase a few weeks back, in which I pushed her out of an airplane and cackled because they were the brave one and I wasn't. Very unselfish moment, letting me push a kid out of a plane in an improv scene. You know, I'm grateful to her for letting me look like the jerk I was trying to play. It takes trust. It takes understanding that we know where we're going on a joint venture, and it takes most of all, it just takes flexibility, being cool. And I feel like Audrey's always possessed that, and it's tough to know that Arbor View is done early in this playoff, if I'm being honest, just because I would have liked to see more Audrey and Allison be that duo that we know is so dynamic. But memories of what Audrey's done for this league will be ingrained in me. Big part of Pandemic Prov for my memory. And cool. I'm glad Audrey's here. Certainly, obviously, deserved beyond all measure. But this one's cool too. Althea Carton of Cimarron High School. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get you on the first team main stage after a long and arduous journey with Jesters. You so deserve as many accolades as we can justify for you. Go, Kopy.
Um, Althea has kind of just been delivering at such a high level since the day we met her. was a freshman all-star. Just it has not let us down even in the slightest, even on her really packed Cimarron team that won the championship that year with a rookie of the year nominee with Donovan as an MVP candidate that year. Just, I mean, Althea was kind of the shock to that group. Just, man, who is this that just came in here out of nowhere and can play at a really high level? So this year in particular, Althea's brain has just been in the perfect spot almost every single week, every single game. Knows how to twist it to find the funny. Even if there was no funny to start with, Althea finds it. So that's the gift of Althea's brain, is Althea knows how to entertain us and get us to that funny. So yeah, Althea, clearly you were on this list. And as I talked about, and I didn't even mention at the start of this video, as far as numbers go, this is the second time Althea is on this list. Of course, Audrey's second time as well.
Very cool. Cool. Welcome back to both ladies, making it onward. But for some reason, it hits more real with everybody back in person for me. So it's easy to count it on the same level as a first time, really, for me. Very inspirational student with Althea. Could give us gifts for years to come. We'll see. D'Angelo, yes, my Bella at Del Sol. I've mentioned a few times over the last few nights just how effortless Bella makes it all look and feel. Truly a student who, when I watched perform, I was like, oh dang, you come fully equipped with so much. How can I teach you to be better? And generally it hasn't been, I don't know, I haven't cognizantly been able to. I think the few pieces she's picked up have come at me in flashes, because she's already got such a deep toolkit. So much she can do, so little she can't. Truly a pleasure to have. Very unselfish, so unselfish for the level of quality she can produce. So truly a gift. She'd be an amazing asset to this team. You say stuff about her.
Yeah, Bella has this way of making sure we're always on track. And it doesn't matter where something is. Bella has almost like this take your hand and, hey, we're going to go to the right place now. We're going to go to where we need to be, to where this is all going to make the most sense it can. And then with this dash of funny on top. And Bella's kind of just been doing that. I mean, I think definitely did it during online improv.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just kind of done it really flawlessly this year.
Yeah.
It's been pretty evident top to bottom. So John Dina lives on forever.
Darn it, you said it first. I couldn't see you coming with that.
Bella, yeah, second time on a main stage cast list. So yeah, you deserve to be here.
It has been an honor to coach you. I know I've said that in front of big audiences. I've said it to your face, so I don't mind telling the recap audience that it has just been so cool to know that a student like you can walk in and be what you can be and yet still be humble. It reminds me that there's truly great creators in this planet if you can still be humble and do what you can do, Bella. Hey, speaking of humility, here's a guy who never really knew he was a big jar of Kool-Aid, but behaves like it all the time when he's improvising because he does so many good things to refresh the stage. That's right, Kool-Aid refreshment. I connected, it went there. Elliott Dungan is amazing over at LVA. I've watched him from a freshman shocking the world in the championship against Northwest and winning it for his team as the unbelievable underdogs, to watching him adapt to pandemic prov and help a totally different team learn what it meant to be funny in that context, to watching a brand new, beautifully designed arborarium growing out of their current team. You know, we've talked about so many great personalities that have learned from him, but also he's accented their natural creativity just perfectly. So great to have you on this list, and I am definitely not surprised. Elliott.
Yeah, and it's weird to say, but this is Elliott's first time in the main stage
Right.
category.
Yep.
with how smooth and easy Elliott makes everything look this year. It's hard not to just adore Elliott and his improv style and just how funny and witty he is. So this was kind of a gimme. I felt like I would have gotten letters written to me if Elliott wasn't on this list. That's how much he's proved it this year. So Elliott, congratulations. It's definitely overdue, but welcome to the Main Stage Cast.
And now that he's on this list, Kopy, I can rip this up. Good. I was really worried I'd have to send this to you and we'd have a bit of a breakup over it. Hey, how about this? Erica Fish makes a return, right, to the first team Main Stage Cast.
This is Erica's second time being on a Main Stage Cast, but the last time was a second team.
Yay! Way to level up, kid.
Yeah. Erica, man, Erica oddly is connected to Elliott as they faced each other as freshmen in their championship show.
Wow.
And here they are, seniors together on this list for a reason. Erica was chosen for that championship show because of how strong Erica was. And I remember early on, talking to Erica about body language and posture, because Erica had to flex all the time. And it was just, it was what Erica did. It was just like this pointed, like, this is who I am. And I remember having to talk about finding different things to do with Erica's arms because Erica's just that strong of a performer. Now Erica is so dynamic and so well-rounded and just knows how to incorporate everyone, all their ideas, knows how to take it satirically, knows how to take it logically. It just, there's so many angles to what Erica provides, what she's doing now. And of course, in a school like Northwest that doesn't have any performing arts or theater, Erica's out there in the world, finding plays, auditioning for stuff. Like,
awesome.
She's out working, as she should, because she's talented. So Erica, welcome back to the Main Stage Cast.
So cool. Strength all the way. Totally the word that I think of when I think of Erica is just strong, sturdy, improvising. Certainly with an air of follow or be trampled kind of way, to be honest, which, that's not a bad thing. Strength can sometimes mean towing the line. The truth is that their team at Northwest has never needed her to be incredibly over the top forceful. The team is well trained enough to know to follow. And of course, she's got her partner Isaiah with her, who's been the focal point and the buffer for a lot of that strength, turning it back into something a little bit silly. But great inclusion. There's no doubt that her brain moves 10 million miles per hour a minute.
Yep.
And she can easily connect everything almost like an operator, taking the who and putting it with the what, and then we'll go with the why, and then here's how. It's crazy that she can do that. So a student with that kind of a mind who's done it so consistently as she has belongs here, period. Isaiah Guerra, I just said it. He's on this list too, right next door. Ironically and crazily in alphabetical order, even still.
Right.
We see this a couple times on this list, which is strange, but
right.
Okay. Yeah. Looks great in a Jesters hat, you'd think he'd been coaching for 3 or 4 years, like another Cameron. But hi, and you're awesome, Isaiah. You're on this list too, because there's no way you're not. And that's all I need to say personally to feel good about my submission. Go, Cope.
Well, I mentioned in the All-Star video how I think it's easy to say that Isaiah is somewhat underrated or overlooked, but this is Isaiah's first time on the Main Stage Cast.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
But it's a testament to the year he's had. I don't know if I've seen a student gain a fan club quicker. Isaiah was electric from the first show, the first game. Man, did everyone just get in his ball court and want to play. It was so cool to see that explosion. Were you always capable of that? Yeah. but man, were you just ready to not be online anymore?
Oh boy,
To
yeah.
be in front of people and to do what you know how to do. Yeah, you kind of took us by storm, sir, and I'd be dumb not to have you on this team. So yeah, Isaiah, welcome, sir.
Yep. And I don't need to accent anything more to. Sorry, it's not that we don't think you're amazing. It's that it's so simple to say it that way. You remind me of The Rock, and The Rock is one of the most charismatic people on the planet. Like he could park his car entertainingly. You you can do the same. So please don't stop trying to. um And here's another guy, you almost take Isaiah and you take Erica and you cram them together and force them to be something, and it might be Evan Hardy. Um, Only because he can think just as fast as Erica can, but can he present himself in a silly, carefree, nonchalant way that just makes you think, man, how do you just generate this? How do you just do this? How do you just whip this up? How do you connect everything, make it funny, make you likable? Like, stop, Evan. Evan Hardy at basic is unpackageable gold.
Yeah.
So go.
Evan performing this year performs like he's been doing this for 10.
Yeah.
So like there's such
Looks like a
a
substitute teacher to me.
there is such a poise to Evan's game this year that's just so fun to watch, and it's almost masterful
Mhm.
in his presentation and in his approach, and even in the times where it doesn't need to be Evan and Evan is just the supporter, it's so smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth operator is who Evan is. I
Yeah.
think he's taught a lot of his teammates a lot over the years, and he's probably taught a lot of other people who've watched him perform a lot over the years. Evan's a busy dude, man, just involved in a lot of stuff. I just heard from him today. He got accepted for his mission. He's going to Hong Kong this summer. I just constantly involved in as much as possible. So I do know that this coming Saturday, Sweet 16 will be Evan's last show, as he cannot participate in the rest of the playoffs after this week because of how busy this boy is. So if you want to see Evan perform, you got to come see him against East Tech this week.
Yeah, and that's going to be a show of the week. So that's going to be just an electric contest. Please come and support. Say goodbye of gratitude to Evan, because he's given a lot to the league through how he's been pivotal to Basic. Um, and Basic's always been such an unselfish, entertaining team to take in. Um, Thank you, Evan, is the easiest thing I can say. And we don't say thank you to every student. We say thank you in a very loose way to every student. But I mean, we don't say thank you. Like, seriously, thank you for just helping us laugh and helping us believe that there really are just virtuosos at this stuff out there. Like, you're just so talented. And a lot of you kids on this list are. I'm not, is but there's something about Evan that just, his creativity is like on a breeze. It just wafts in and it hits you and it goes right by you, and you just can't help but appreciate it. It's just ridiculous stuff. A little bit less breezy and a little bit more like the smell in the city when you wake up and go, it smells a little bit like, exhaust, but it's still home. Here's Allison Johnson. Her improv is like home. It's got this weird off-kilter smell to it because, like I said, Arbor View's got real improv in their veins, man. They say real stuff, and it's sometimes it's a little acidic and spiky. But
I I know
Johnson,
she just threw something at her computer.
out of
Like
disgust,
just what does that mean?
it means that as unbelievably talented and capable as Allison is, there's just something that's not, like I said in another video, rainbows, butterflies, daffodils, perfection. There's a stroke of reality that makes everything she does smarter than the average bear.
Right.
Love that about Allison, but also she performs like a Gilda Radner, I've said a million times, or Kate McKinnon, or any insert fantastic male or female sketch comedian here. And that is what I see in Allison. So knowing that she's going to be on this list was a foregone conclusion for me. Kopy, you tell us why it was cemented.
So Allison made the second team main stage last year. It is our reigning rookie of the year, and sometimes even just say getting the rookie of the year doesn't necessarily mean that you are top tier best performer in the league. It means that you've had an impact coming in, but now we move forward a year. What else can you do? And Allison has proven nonstop, even if they were eliminated in the first round, that Allison can really do anything. And to me, I don't know if I understand the exhaust comment, but I mean, just talk about a loaded gun. Like, just man, could she do anything at any time? And
loaded guns can't make people live, Kopy.
Well, if it's filled with laughter bullets, the amount of times
I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah, Allison just shocks me with the way that her brain works and the way that her brain moves, and deserves to be here. If we're saying this is the best of the best, Allison's got to be on this list.
Yeah, and pound for pound, I'm looking at this list. This might be one of, maybe it's just because I've been able to pay attention and listen, and I'm learning so much as the years have finally gone by. And I'm like, wow, I get why these kids are great. But this is pound for pound the finest list I can remember looking at when it comes to the quality of performers. And you've got to feel an amazing sense of pride about the next submission. Go ahead, Cope.
Yeah, so this is our youngest on the list. This is our sophomore, because everyone else is a senior. I'm just realizing this right now.
11 faces to graduate and only one to create. Yep.
Okay. Well, then definitely this is our youngest on the list. This is our sophomore. I think her journey has been a fun one to this point, because this was an 8th grader that was able to participate in 8th grade, and had a strong showing and almost a possible all-star, to a freshman year where they did get all-star on a stacked team, a stacked West Tech team, somehow took that all-star vote. And then even watching Pandemic Improv, it just, I think people were learning from what she was doing. So this now being her second spot on the main stage cast, and being in the first team, is because now it's as if she's picked up all the tools out of the toolbox, and she's figuring out how to actually use the tools. We all got toolboxes in our garage. Doesn't mean we know how to use all those tools. I can speak from my own toolbox. I don't know half of that stuff. But her improv toolbox is about as well-rounded as it's getting. And it's showing from her teammates, being a part of now Riffside. As somehow that scenario worked out, where transferring to Riffside was a thing, and adding to that giant legacy of a group. Yeah, I don't know if we have anyone who's that young who can deliver at that level. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch.
This student and I go way back. I've known this student ever since they thought it was entertaining to kill someone by making noises and pointing at them. This student has learned a lot about their creativity since then, and has learned so much about how to make the different choice. I can't believe how many different choices this student can pull out of their hat, whether they're starting a scene, whether they're coming into a scene, or if they're saving a scene. They do it in a way that I've not seen before. And they do it so efficiently with only the words that they need. They don't stutter. They move their body with purpose. They do it with just enough. It's amazing. And you know, they've they've blown us all away, and it's an inspiring, beautiful story, and that's all I'll get to tell of it. So cool stuff. Welcome to the list. Now another Riff Sidian saunters in, and this is Alicia Limas. Is it Limas?
I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but at least
Lemieux.
Alicia.
Alicia Lemieux.
Yep, that
Bon,
works.
bonjour. This is another fantastic creator over at the Riff Side Squad. Someone who learned from the greats who graduated last year, Maya Swift and Emmy Robinson, but also distinctly does things her own way. She cuts through a lot of of the filler that we see in a lot of these high school jester scenes sometimes. No offense, guys. And just gets to the point and does it with urgency and pushes the tempo like so many kids don't understand how to do. And it's really fun. It's just fun to watch Alicia provide pressure to whatever the scene and the story in the scene is experiencing, so that we move it along, get it going, pitter patter. Um, just a bright kid, certainly poised in the moment, makes the right decisions, layers them out, sequences them correctly, and just does it while keeping it fun and making it look easy. So go, Cope.
When I think of Alicia, I think of the phrase "less is more." And the reason I think of that phrase is because there are times she makes conscious decisions sometimes to not even speak, to stand there and make an action that is so pivotal to direction that we know what's happening. And I'm saying that because I can think of two examples of times where she chose to add something in a physical nature without words that changed the entire progression of a scene. But it doesn't matter whether she's speaking or not. She knows how to add a layer that the scene desperately needed as quickly
Mm,
as possible. I don't know if anyone's quicker at that and more aggressive than Alicia.
mm.
Even in this picture, Alicia has not given me a picture without a mask. I have pictures of her standing backwards in the posed pictures and back. I don't have one picture that she actually somehow she eluded us and I couldn't find it. And this is just who Alicia is. That's the best I could do. I had to search to find that picture. So thanks, Alicia, for making me work extra hard.
I thought she just used too much of that charcoal toothpaste that turns your teeth black, and
Not
she just
even
went full smile for us.
but it makes so much sense that she's the one out of all of our awards and our pictures and whatnot, that she's the only one like this. So
Either that or she grew a great beard. I mean, look, my mouth disappears too.
I, oh my God, you're wearing a mask. Yeah, Alicia, you deserve to be on this list.
Yep.
You were on second team last year and you deserve to be on first team this year.
Cool. You know what shocks me more than anything about our talks these last couple nights, Kopy?
Hmm.
I picked up on Alicia's sense of urgency. That must mean I really am learning stuff. That's amazing. That's just me being honest. I
Yeah.
literally just didn't even realize that was the right instinct to follow. But speaking of instincts to follow, I have an instinctual desire to follow this individual back into the next theater where they'll be performing improv so I can watch more of it. Hailing all the way from Riffside as well, it's Josh Ocampo.
Yeah, and speaking of Riffside, Kopy made a typo. That's weird. So,
Yeah, what's a Durango?
Josh is their all-star this year.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the glowing things we just said about Margot and Alicia, for Josh to have it, that must mean something.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, I remember Josh's very first show. I remember Josh's first practice when I met Josh, and kind of having that face melting feeling of just, oh my God, like how is there a human who is this intense and this out there? And I remember a lot of early Josh was trying to figure out how to use that effectively.
Right. Yeah.
Never do I want to tame that. I want to use that. the right way.
Channel it.
Right. And Josh definitely figured all that out last year, getting into the most improved category.
Oh yeah.
And then even more so this year. Because getting back in person, I mean, there's a bit of maybe a learning curve or a growing curve. And having new people that weren't there last time you were doing it, and Josh just found ways to this is what I need to do. These are the moments that I need to melt your face. These are the moments I need to do this. So yeah, Josh, hands down, all-star main stage cast. I would be just so dumb not to have Josh here. Josh is insanely talented.
Yeah, I think you would be dumb as well, but you're not. So here he is. And I've said it all over the last couple nights. I don't know, man. This is the kid that, I mean, looking at this list of 12 impeccable performers, this is the one that for me just jumps out the hardest, the most prolifically, and I only saw snippets. That's how much I know he gets it.
Yep.
And that's just, you can't coach it, you can't mitigate it, you can only help try to channel it. And he doesn't need the help anymore. He is absolutely cooking with gas whenever he wants, and it's as much gas as he wants. So you take you just take your compliments, young man, and please find a way to keep entertaining and let us know when you got shows, because I want to be in your audience whenever you'll have me. That's just crazy, crazy talent there too. But there's one more crazy talented student who's quietly come up and proved to be there's a lot of hearts and a lot of souls on Team Love, but might be the root, right? The that everybody's drinking from and everybody's branching out from. And it's a big reason why Clark's a big trunk of awesome improv this year. Tree references, sorry. Jenna Thomas from Clark High School, welcome to your first main stage cast nomination, first team, no less.
Yep.
And we've heard it all year, how much you've learned how to do it all. Kopy, tell us exactly one more time.
So Jenna has, for me, this has been a long time coming. I think Jenna not only has so an exact quote that I said to Coach Jarrell was, Jenna doesn't do anything wrong, which can mean a lot of things. But what that ultimately means is that no matter what position Jenna's in, it's going the right way. It's the things that are needing to happen are happening. And what's beautiful about that is we can all, answer most of the questions right and get a C. But what Jenna is doing is now she's stepping in it and she's leaning into it. And while she's right, there's characters, there's feelings, there's conviction, there's making us care about stuff. And Jenna just knows how to pull us in to make this goofy world of improv we live in and make it real. And that's what she's doing. That's why she's on this list and has gotten all this love, and a big piece of why Clark is doing what they're doing. So yeah, Jenna, you have to be here. Please come join us.
You can't have love without heart, and you can't have heart without the connection to what we're watching. And having somebody who can understand how to continue to be funny, sure, but more importantly, make the funny matter and connect it to something for the audience that's real is very, very, very much an adult, mature mind frame, and something that's very difficult to coach and very rarely seen in a high school climate. So Jenna, congratulations on tapping into that and finding it and riding it all the way to the first team all Jesters Mainstage cast, alongside pound for pound maybe the strongest group you've ever put together on this list, Kopy, with so many distinct styles, approaches, tempos, personalities, attitudes, potentials. All of you have found some fantastic strength, and I'm really glad that we've had the opportunity to get to know all of you, watch you perform, and encourage you to go out into the real world and keep performing, keep finding ways to make each other better, and other people around you better, because you'll do that. You have no idea the light you give the world by doing what you do with the confidence you do it. And hopefully you'll never doubt it. Because we've certainly said a lot of positive things, for crying out loud, and we don't stay up until 3:30 in the morning to do that unless we believe in you. So that
Well,
is the bottom line.
before you close this,
Okay.
tomorrow's video is going to be announcing the MVPs.
I know.
It is a very logical thing to accept that
Yep.
those MVPs are probably going to be 6 of these people that we're staring at.
Oh.
So if you just complimented how tight and good of a list this is, it was even harder narrowing this down. So
Oh my God.
let's see what 6 are in that MVP race, but it's nothing taken away from this group of 12, because this group of 12 deserves to be paid to go out there and do what they do.
That's so cool. Yep. Good note. And we'll find out tomorrow when we see who are our 2021-2022 High School Jesters Most Valuable Performer Award nominee recipients. So we'll see you then.